The cold wind whispered through the trees as dusk settled over the Hinterkaifeck farm. The farm stood in eerie solitude, miles away from the nearest village. Its occupants, Andreas and Cecilia Gruber, their daughter Victoria, her children Cecilia and Joseph, and the new maid Maria, had no idea that something sinister lurked in the darkness. In the days leading up to the massacre, strange occurrences unsettled the household. Footprints in the snow led from the forest to the house, but none returned. Andreas found a newspaper on the doorstep that no one in the family had purchased. At night, eerie noises echoed from the attic. Yet when he investigated, he found nothing. An unspoken dread crept through every crack, like a cold mist that never faded. Then on March 31st, 1922, deathly silence fell. No one heard the screams. No one saw the horror unfold. One by one, the family members were lured into the barn and brutally slaughtered with a mattock. Their skulls were crushed with powerful blows. Inside the house, Maria and little Joseph met the same gruesome fate. However, the most chilling part of the story came afterward. The killer remained on the farm for days. He fed the livestock, ate their food, and kept the fireplace burning as if the place belonged to him. Days later, concerned neighbors arrived at the farm, only to be met with an unspeakable sight. The bodies in the barn were piled atop one another, frozen in expressions of indescribable terror. Inside, little Joseph was found in his crib, his tiny body crushed by violence. Maria, the maid who had just begun her job, lay lifeless in her room, as if she never even had the chance to settle in. The house was silent, yet it seemed to breathe, filled with an unseen presence, a dark energy that refused to dissipate. The investigation raised more questions than answers. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing was stolen. The murderer had apparently lived among the dead for days, behaving as if the place belonged to them. Suspects emerged: a former lover, a jealous rival, even Victoria's own brother. But no one was ever arrested. To this day, the case remains unsolved. Some believe the ghosts of Hinterkaifeck still wander the ruins, whispering the secrets of that fateful night. Others think the murderer was never a stranger, but someone who had always been close, watching, waiting, before striking with cold, calculated cruelty. And perhaps, just perhaps, the true horror lies in the fact that the murderer vanished into the night, never caught, never punished for what was done on that lonely farm under the pale moonlight.